All right, y'all, check it out. We've got the second gen sport bumper. We got the license flame holder here as well too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it back to the house and then start cleaning it up. Alrighty guys, so you can see we got the second gen bumper right there. I got all the hardware, and I also got the license plate frame as well too. I don't have the fog lights in there, but that's okay. I mean, the old school fog lights are no good anyways. We just got to get some nice custom ones. So anyways, I'm super stoked. The kid had two different ones, so this is like a side hustle for him. He gets these bumpers and stuff, and he kind of like flips them on the side for profit, which is sick. I love to see that type of entrepreneurial spirit in the young folks. So super nice kid, super cool. He actually knew my truck from around town. As soon as I showed him the truck that the bumper was going on, he's like, oh, I know that truck. Super cool, really nice kid. And I invited him to come cruising, you know, with me and my buddies and stuff whenever we go cruising up and down the beach. He had a nice little, not little, but he had a nice extended cab, short bed, 1500, but it only has 50,000 miles on it, and it was beautiful, super clean. I would have took some footage and stuff, but you know, you don't want to encroach on anybody's privacy and stuff, and the kid lives with his parents. So at the end of the day, super nice find. I had to pay a little extra for the bumper, I'm not gonna lie guys. So he had a pair, so he had two black bumpers and he had a blue one. The blue one was an off-road bumper, which is really sick, but he's actually keeping that for his own truck. He had one of the black bumpers had a crack in it, and he put some of those metal staples in it to kind of keep it together. He was gonna give me that one for 300, or there was one that has no body damage on it for 400. So I opted to go for the one with 400 bucks just to save me a little bit of time on bodywork and Bondo and stuff, because I'm sure by the time I get down to the front bumper, I'm not going to want to do any Bondo. So I was just thinking to myself, I think 100 bucks is worth it. Plus it helps the kid out, you know. Just a little bit of thought, a little bit of info on that, how I found it. I'll put up the post for you guys too, so you guys can see it. And let's get to the house and see what kind of condition it's in. All right, guys, check me out. So here it is in a blaze of glory. We've got the sport bumper here, and we also have the hardware here, as well as the license plate holder. I found this from a kid on Marketplace. He's a really nice dude. I think I gave you guys a story on the way here. So let's go ahead and check it out. The last one had like a crack right here, and he had the metal staples on the bottom side. Like I said, for 100 extra bucks, I figured this one would be better. It just has like a little bit of scuff right here, but that's okay. Overall, it looks like it's in really good shape. This is the inside here. It was sitting outside. The only downfall is that he gave me new brackets. Okay, so I've got new ones to go here, or it goes right there, I think. And then I also have the other bracket sitting right over there. The only thing is that this piece is all rusted out. It was rusted out on his other ones too, so I guess that's a pretty common thing for this. But he did give me brand new hardware, just in case I find a replacement piece for it or something like that. He said that he thinks that you can buy them on eBay or something, and I'm pretty sure you can. So I think it looks really, really good. I'm super stoked about it. It's gonna look way better than this 4th gen bumper. I know these things get mixed reviews, but for me personally, I just don't like the weird gaps. And also my headlights are fighting with it. You can see they're pretty much sitting on the bumper, which is no bueno. So this is gonna be sick. I can't wait to get it put on. And let me see about this license plate holder here. Okay, so I guess, oh yeah, so then this is gonna sit right here just like that. It's kind of hard to see, but it's got the edges on it there, and it's already got some holes on it. So you guys let me know, what are your thoughts about the license plate holder? Should I put it on there? Obviously I'll sand it down and paint it real nice, but will it look better without it? It looks like that's how they had it already. So, and then here is the other side to mount it to the frame, and then these are the things that were rusted out on the sides as well too. So super sick. That kid was really nice. Alrighty, this is another thing that I found on Marketplace. I'll go ahead and put the post up right here for you guys, but this guy was asking 50 bucks for this thing. It's been barely used. I mean, the filter still looks like it's pretty clean, and even the O-ring looks like it's brand new still. So if you go online, these things are about 50 or 60 bucks, maybe more. And I got this one for 25 bucks. The guy was asking 50, and I guess nobody really wanted it. So I hit him up, and I figured this would be a perfect little addition for the engine bay, and it's gonna be awesome little, it's gonna be an awesome little touch for whenever we redo that valve cover, because we're definitely going to be repainting that thing. Super stoked about this. It's all billet aluminum, definitely heavy, and definitely worth it. And this thing rotates too. I just got done. I've been out here kind of messing with the truck a little bit. What I did was I took off the tailgate. I also took out the mirrors, and I took out the door handles because I decided that I am going to paint match those as well. I've been doing a lot of like research and looking online to see what I like. I was thinking about just spraying them with a nice fresh satin black, but I really like the paint matched look. It really looks good. Also, I need to take this out because I'm going to go ahead and delete this. That way it's got a nice clean look to it as well. Nobody's really using the radio in this truck anyways. You can see I've got this all done. This is nice. And also what I was doing was messing with this rust spot. So you guys can see here, what I did was I took my wire wheel here. This is my fine bristle one. And I just hit that whole area, and then I got around here on the edges and I kind of dug it out a little bit right there. It was kind of brittle. What I'm going to do now is I don't feel anything from the bottom, so it's kind of right here in this like pinch weld, whatever this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with the rust reformer. Where? Boom. This stuff right here. And it says it destroys rust on contact. Also, you can sand on it and you can paint on it as well. So my plan is to go ahead and spray that stuff, put that on there, because I'm pretty much done with this area up here. I might have to come up here and take some more of this paint off, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. No matter what, I'm going to end up skimming this with some Bondo and filling that in and shaping that in. So it's not horrible. And with that fine bristle brush, I was really able to dig down into those pock marks and get it pretty much as clean as possible. So I think it'll be really nice. Alrighty, so we got it on there, and it actually goes from clear to black. So I just put on I took my air compressor. First I hit it with some brake cleaner, cleaned it all out, dried it out with my air compressor, and then I just put on a nice real thick coat on there. I'll let you know whenever it turns black. Should be ready in about 20 minutes. Alrighty, check me out. So while I've been tinkering with some stuff in the shop, I figured I would go ahead and tape these off because I'm going to go ahead and sand these down for paint. I was thinking to myself, honestly, I was going to pop the lens off. I thought about doing that, but then I got to do the headlights, and I've already done the headlights. So just for sake of time, I guess we'll do it like this. So I'm going to scuff all this down, get it real nice and ready for paint. Okay, so I got one done. It took me about 15-20 minutes. I've just been sitting here with this 180 grit, and I just made sure to get all down into the edges and everything as good as I could. And I got all around the edges as well too, all around here and all around there. So you can see she's nice and scuffed and ready for primer. I'm going to paint it separately with the door handles, the grill, maybe some other miscellaneous stuff that I can't think of at the moment, but we're going to have this all sitting outside on a table. Maybe not outside, but we're going to have it all sitting on a table, and we'll spray all this stuff first before I spray the truck. That way I can learn my painting gun and everything. And if I mess it up, these parts are a lot smaller to fix. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Instead of putting you guys on a time lapse, I'm just going to go ahead and knock it out. I mean, you guys already know how sanding goes, Mr. Miyagi style, right? So let's go ahead and knock this other one out, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Alrighty, so I got the taillights completely sanded and prepped, ready for primer. Now I started on the mirrors here. I marked off I taped off the light, and I taped off the mirrors themselves. And with this, I've just been sanding it down to get rid of the texture. So these originally come with this little bit of texture. I think you can see it there. And then if you come over here, you can see I've sanded it down. It's really smooth. I'm not done with it yet. There's still spots that I need to do, but you can see here how smooth it is. It's really nice. So this is with 180 grit. That way it'll still take the primer. And these things are going to be sick when they're color matched. I'm going to do everything that you can see, all this stuff here. It's all going to be nice and glassy. It's going to be really sick. Alrighty, y'all. We're back at it today. It's been a couple days since I've been working on this thing. I've been doing some things behind the scenes. I'll kind of show you. I'll kind of catch you up to date a little bit. It's been raining real bad here, so it's really hard to work here in the shop when it's just torrential downpour. It's so loud. It's real echoey. And it does get a little taxing. But anyways, I've got a bunch of small stuff done. Let's go ahead and check it out. And then my goal today is to get this entire side sanded. Shouldn't take very long. Now that I have my technique figured out and whatnot, it should be pretty much a breeze. And at least we'll have this whole side knocked out as far as the sanding is concerned. Also, I went around and I circled any of the small little dents and dings that we need to throw some putty on. I messed up and I didn't do that on this side. So I'm waiting for my guide coat. That way I can do guide coat all over the bed right there. That way I can see some small spots, because I know there's some little cherry dings there that I did not circle in time before I started grinding. So Anyways, let's go ahead and show you what I got. I'll show you all the marks, and then we can go ahead and start knocking out the sanding. Alrighty, so I guess the first thing that you'll notice is there's a few things missing. So I have pulled out the door handles, I pulled out the mirrors, and I pulled off the steps. Let me know what you guys think about not having the steps. I mean, granted, it's super tall. I'm 6'2", and that door handle comes up right up to my neck and my chest area. It's gonna take me to jump up in the truck, but let me know if you think it's better without the steps, or do you think I should get some of those automated steps? You guys let me know what your thoughts are on that. Now, another thing I need to do is I still got to figure out how to take this thing off. I was trying to mess with this a little bit, but I don't know if it's broken or whatever, so we got to still figure out about getting that off of there. So you guys can see here, I went around and I've circled where all the little cherry dents are going to be. And honestly, you can't see them looking straight at the paint. You kind of have to come to the side, and you can kind of see little tiny dings and whatnot. So I went around and I circled them. Down here is not too bad. Just a few, and then on this one, it was not that bad. I thought there would be a little bit more. Now here in this area, there's gonna be quite a few, but that's okay, it's not that bad. I found this little spot of rust, so I dug it all out and I sprayed it with some of the rust reformer, so that's great. I also got all up in here, so I knocked down all the horns. I took off all the paint, all the residue, all the way around on the inside, so technically that's done. And then also this right here with this rust reform, all that is nice and black now. Now, I went ahead and I got inside the bucket here, or at least around the outside, and also on the inside of here. This was kind of creased up and folded up in there, so I knocked it down flat and made it smooth again. So now the top of the bed rails are essentially perfectly straight and smooth. Over here, I haven't really done much other than I just circled a bunch of the stuff that we're going to be fixing. You guys can see here. And then also what I started to discover was there's a little bit of Bondo here. So we're going to have to play with that and see if we can clean that up a little bit. A little bit on this door, not too bad though. Honestly, this side was really not that bad. I think there might be a dozen little tiny dings over the whole thing. Really pleased with that. So let's go ahead and finish knocking out this side. Another thing I need to do is I got to pull this bumper because we're going to be putting this up for sale. I got to pull the lights and I'm going to pull the grill off. That way I can paint the grill separately. Another thing I noticed was this gap on this fender. Now, granted, this door has been changed, so I know that it's going to be a little bit off. I mean, you can see the gap through here. Seems like it's pretty even. It's just a fatter gap than this one and a lot fatter than this one. But this one, it's kind of close up here, and then it kind of maintains, but I don't know. I'd like to see if I can try to make that sit a little bit better, because if you look from the side here, it kind of pops out a little bit here. So let's go ahead and knock this sanding out. Alrighty guys, I tell you what, I have learned so much about sanding since I started this project. Now what I did was I sanded down all of the dents, the center of the dent. I just started there and went all the way down to bare metal. And then I also learned to keep that sanding disc clean. I have my air compressor right next to me out of the angle there, but I use it to blow off the sanding disc, and that really helps get a nice fresh bite on all that. And honestly, it was kind of a breeze. It's a little time consuming, but honestly, it's a little therapeutic too. Yeah, so just like that, it's been about an hour and a half, and you can see we got a good amount done. I didn't run into any Bondo work, which is good. You guys know I was a little nervous about running into that red looking color. But anyways, so I got it all knocked out so far. Let me go ahead and show you what we got. And really, I'm really impressed with the truck as far as the condition that it's in. I mean, I expected a lot more damage, a lot more Bondo than I found. So I'm super excited about that. I'm glad that the truck is as straight and as clean as it actually is. Bam. So one thing I messed up on, guys, is I burned through the tape on my window right here, and it irks me. Ooh, and I got it right here too. Damn. So I think the best thing you can do is, God, I don't know if I got it there too. Jeez. I think that's going to be the last time I use a sander around any of the glass. I think I'm just going to do it by hand, because I think now I'm going to have to wet sand this and then polish it to get it to come back a little bit. I mean, it's not horrible, but definitely noticeable. I mean, this glass has some scratches on it just from the window and everything, so I don't know. But yeah, so you guys noticed that I went around on the dents that we circled, and I went ahead and I found the center of the dent, and I sanded down to bare metal to the center of the dent. At least that's what they want you to do. I mean, common sense kind of tells you to do that too, right? So we've got a couple here, and some of these spots I had just kind of sanded through, so they don't even really need any skimming or anything. I think I'm still going to use the guide coat on all this stuff just to make sure, just so I can see. I do want it to be as good as possible, even though it's my first time. We're getting it knocked out, man. I tell you what, this 80 grit really knocks it out. Let me show you. I mean, I don't know how many discs I've gone through out of this thing. This thing was 50. I must have used, God, at least 15 or so. This is what I just used so far. This one I'm going to keep because you can see I just did the outside edge, and the inside I could use for hand sanding. But all this other stuff, it's they're kind of chewed up. Not horrible, but I did realize that having a new sanding disc was a lot better than trying to use the air hose to keep blowing off the disc, which does help, but either way, you know, it's a time-consuming process. I'm going to take a little break real quick, get something to drink and whatnot, and then we'll jump right back on it, and hopefully we can get this knocked out in another hour and a half. So I took the rest of the stuff off on that side, and I actually took off this molding just to kind of see how it goes and everything, but I decided to leave it in place so I can leave the window up while I'm doing all the sanding. But I noticed that this door, being that it's replaced, I was looking around and just kind of snooping to see if I saw anything, and I saw this right here. So this hinge right here is not even connected, if you can see that there. I mean, you see how loose that is? Like, so this door just, it has no stop to it. You can see that the metal here is kind of warped. It should be flat like this one here. So let's jump over to the other side, and I'll show you that the other side, the driver's door, this same exact thing is wrong on that side, except that side is flat. But I don't know if maybe this is a common issue. You guys can let me know down in the comments if this is a common issue, but it looks like we're gonna take a junkyard trip. That way we can try to find one of those if we can. Hopefully it's not too much of a common issue that they're all gone. But let's show you this one here. So yeah, so this one is mounted up pretty decent, but I can actually see some type of like Bondo or something right there, like a glob of glue or something. But this hinge it's on there when there's like a spring back there, but I don't know, it doesn't really, it makes noise and whatnot too. So I'm just thinking to myself, I could probably grab another one, because it looks like, after looking at this one, it looks like the other side's just missing that spring. Also, check this out. Now, what in the world could have caused that? The only thing I can think of is maybe some type of ratchet strap situation. The door line is fine, so, you know, it didn't get tweaked or anything. You know, the gap is all normal, and it closes just fine, so. But man, oh man, that is a crazy little. That's a crazy little horn right there. So I definitely got to try to smooth that out and knock that down. That's definitely going to have to take a little bit of Bondo right there just to kind of smooth it out. But keep in mind, I also have the rain visors that actually glue on and hide all of that. So it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, but we're definitely going to have to knock that down. And then we got some Bondo, we'll skim over it. And then, like I said, we have the rain guards, these things right here. And they literally stick on just above that and come around. So it'll be hidden at least. Alrighty, so I tell you what, working on a lifted truck has been very nice, especially me being a taller guy. It's been very nice. So anyways, working down here on the rocker panel and everything, I just wanted to make sure I got this really smooth, all those rock chips and everything. I made sure to get that pinch weld down on the very bottom, all the way down, and all that's very smooth. It's going to be nice and glassy. I cannot wait to lay paint on this thing. But you know what they say, 90% of a paint job is the prep work, and that's what we're doing right now. So let me know down in the comments if there's anything I should have changed, or maybe if there's any spots that I missed. And thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can see we got all the way down through here, and I'm even thinking about filling in these holes. I'm not quite sure why people would drill the holes in there. Also, I found these things that I have to actually cut them off because they're rusted in. So I have to do that. I have to fill those holes right there. And then I also found these that are like bolts that were cut off. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but I don't know if I should leave those or if I should take them out. They look like they're even, but it's the only two, and there's two on the other side the exact same way. So, but you guys can see I got all the way down through there. I found some holes that they drilled in there for who knows what they put in there, some type of steps or something. I'm not quite sure, but you can see them all down through there. And I cleaned up this hole real well so we can see exactly what we're working with. And it's a little worse than I thought, so we're definitely gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with that. Probably end up buying a welder so we can take care of that. Found a little bit of filler here, and all in all, it came out pretty well. So we are wrapping up this side. Check it out, guys. So I had some things that I had sitting on the shelf that I wasn't ever going to really use. These are the old mirrors that I took off of the truck, and I replaced them with the new ones that we have now. So I put these up for grabs for 50 bucks, and I got a guy coming right now to grab them. I also took these steps off, and I put these up for 100 bucks. I don't have any biters on that yet, but it'll come. I put a couple other things on there: the stock tailgate, the stock rear bumper, and a couple other little miscellaneous things. But hey, that just goes to show you, you know, a couple of things laying around the house can turn into a couple extra bucks, so you can't beat that. Bam, just like that, $50. Can't beat that. So originally, I was going to keep those mirrors for a future project. I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the last Dodge that I own. At the end of the day, the mirrors are just they're so affordable. You can get them anytime, and those are kind of the older style. They were real boxy. They didn't have the light in them, so I figured I'd let them go. I had them sitting on the shelf, and I like to purge stuff every once in a while. I like to kind of go through my stuff, and if I haven't touched it in the last 30 days, do I really need it? And if not, I usually donate it or toss it. That's what happened with these mirrors. I was contemplating, I'm like, what do I do? Do I have a buddy? I don't have any buddies that could use them right now, so threw them up for 50 bucks, got my asking price the same day. Can't beat that. That's super sick. Super stoked about it. All right, guys, that's going to be it. And I'm also going to spare you guys doing the front fender because I'm sure that the sanding kind of gets mundane after a while. I mean, I can only do so many time lapses. And unfortunately, that's kind of what this part of the project is. So I'm going to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes like I have been doing and just kind of slowly chip away at it. And then I'll just kind of keep you guys updated as we go. I hope you guys enjoy the more rapid content, right? So I've been trying to post every 4 or 5 days instead of once a week. And especially now that we're doing like a bigger project, I figured instead of doing one video a week, that's 30 or 45 minutes, why not do 2 or 3 videos and give you guys 15, 20 minutes? So let me know what your thoughts are on that down in the comments. Do you guys like that more? I mean, I'm not quite sure. It seems to be okay for me on my schedule right now. You know, I have the time to do it, and it's really not that hard to knock out a 15 or 20 minute video. 30, 45 minute videos, those usually take a couple hours, so it seems to work out a little bit better. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for subscribing, guys. I really appreciate it. Put any advice or thoughts down in the comments. I always make sure to get back to everybody, and I'll see you guys next time on the video. See you guys.